Melvin with a GHGC 107. Ball name Melvin.
What's up, y'all? So forgive me for the audio for whatever reason. Jank is I don't know what, and I've been trying for the longest these past couple weeks to really fix it, to see what's good with it. I just got to see what's up with this, man. So if you make it all the way through this video, just know that I mess with you. I really appreciate it, because this is something great that I really love doing, and that I hopefully would get to do more with you guys. I'm just kind of upset that the audio is being mad, like foul right now, bro. But nonetheless, man, just rock with me as I get through this transition. Towards the end of the video, the audio gets a lot better. Please excuse the feedback that's going on, man. I just got to figure out what the hell is going on, man. Thank you so much. What up, y'all? It's your man Melvin Taylor Jr. back with another video. With Melvin Taylor Jr., aka Melvin Taylor I back with another video right here for you guys. And I want to holler at y'all real quick, bro, because I kind of want to start doing a few different things with my channel. And one of those things that I want to do is get back to something that very much defined who I was as a person for a long time in my life. And that would have to be sports, and specifically the game of basketball. Now, as y'all saw per my last video, my top 3 teams are the Lakers, the Warriors, and the Bulls. And just kind of like the past couple of years, I've been getting back into it. Long story short, again, if you didn't see my last video, then you missed some of this. The reason why I'm not as into sports, or I haven't been as into sports as what I used to be, is because in college I was playing basketball and I was running track, and then some situations happened that caused me to walk away from both of them, and the game just kind of died in a sense within me from there, because I didn't have the same connection with it that I had anymore. But over the past couple of years, it's slowly been coming back to me, and with this news of King James gonna be a Laker, it really sparked a fire in me to be like, all right, man, I kind of really want to get back into this and hop back on the saddle, and let's see if I still got it in a sense. I used to write for my school newspaper. I used to also write for LakerNation.com, LakersNation.com, Bullzone, and a few other places as well about sports. But all in all, I say all of that to say that I want to start this new series with y'all, and it's going to be called the Hoop Group Chat. Hoop Group Chat is what it's going to be called, all right? And the reason why I want to start this, well, I don't even know. I said that. I just gave you all the reasons why I want to start it. But I was just trying to come up with a cool name for it, to be completely honest with you guys. So I didn't want to come up with nothing lame. And then at the same time, I didn't want to specify me talking about particular teams in specific videos, which at some point I may do that. We still got to see what this ends up turning into. But I just kind of wanted to start somewhere and just stop holding on to things. A lot of times in life, we just hold on to stuff for so long that we just kind of choke the life out of it, because we don't give it the life that it deserves. So I just said, you know what? I got my name. I'm going to just run with it, and let's see what happens. So what I want to do with this series is just kind of talk about the teams that are relevant to me, LA, Golden State, Chicago, as well as some other news that's going on in the world of basketball. Now, this specific episode is going to be catered towards more so the Lakers, just because Warriors, listen, they're my guys, but they are some assholes, and I really don't feel like talking about them because it's just kind of unfair at this point. And the Bulls, I haven't been able to watch a full summer league game with them yet. Now, I know they played the Lakers a couple days ago at the time of this video, but I was only able to see a little bit of it. I didn't watch the complete thing. I just finished watching the Lakers play against the Knicks not that long ago. And when I get back into the full swing of things with the Bulls, then I'll hop back over into that and push that a little bit more. But for right now, I'm just kind of giving y'all, so this is going to be a give and go. We're just going to see what happens, and we're going to run with it, all right? So first things first, I just want to holler at y'all about, we can start from the top down. And with the Lakers these past couple of years, it's kind of been a really up and down and bumpy ride, especially, even ever since basically Kobe blew his Achilles. It's been a pretty bumpy ride, which is crazy enough. With that same season that happened, I was actually that same season that happened when they got bounced it wasn't the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs. It was like they last season, the last game of the season or whatever, when Dwight got thrown out. I was actually working at Lakers Nation Twitter handle at that point in time because they had allowed me to do so at that point. So I vividly remember everything that happened throughout that entire tumultuous season. And it's just kind of been a rocky road since then. You know, we've been rebuilding, trying to get our feet back underneath us. And, you know, thankfully, I was going to say Jerry Buss, Jim Buss, and Mitch Kupchak are out of there. As much as I respected those guys for everything that they did, signing Timothy Mozgov and Luol Deng to those contracts just kind of threw everything in a fritz because we couldn't get anybody. And, you know, Mitch Kupchak is famous for the whole, I'm going to wait until 12:01 when we can officially talk to people. And by that point in time, Mitch, everything's already been signed, bro. It's just the nature of the game. You know, you gotta get with it or you gotta get lost. I see you still hanging out with your boy Timothy Mozgov over there in Charlotte, but you just traded him to Orlando too. So, you know, good luck with that. Good luck with that out there in Charlotte, because that ain't gonna work over here. Now, what has worked over here, you know, thank God the Genie held up her end. It was like, hey, Jim, Mitch, y'all gotta go. And she brought in Magic, who then brought in Rob Pelinka, because we were able to really kind of get things going since then. And Magic came in and was like, all right, Lou Williams, gone. Corey Brewer, gone. Let's get these draft picks. All right, D'Lo, you gone. And I think Tariq Black too, yep, gone. All right, Brook Lopez and these draft picks that ended up turning into Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, and Lonzo Ball, even though we already had a Lonzo pick, I believe. And things just kind of started steamrolling from there. We kind of had a core group, because even when we had D'Lo, it was kind of that point where it was like, okay, what type of player is he really going to become? Is he going to even... I remember when we first drafted Lonzo, I was like, are these two going to be able to fit? I was playing on 2K with him for a minute. I was like, this might work out, this might not. But nonetheless, he ended up getting shipped. No, actually, he got shipped out before that even happened, if I'm saying this correctly. But anyway, I'm straying away from the point. The reason that I'm bringing all of this stuff up is because it's been a lot of shit that's just happened these past couple of years. And now, even before the signings that happened this offseason, I'll move to those in a second, we kind of started to establish an identity, especially with the guys we had last year, with Lonzo running point, and you had Kentavious and Josh coming off the bench. Kentavious is doing well. You know, he a volume scorer pretty much, but he can shoot consistently, and I believe that this year he'll probably do a better job of that, knowing his Clutch Sports mate is going to be rolling with him. So then you also have Brandon Ingram, who I think can be a very good player, multiple-time All-Star. I'm not going to say that he's going to be the best thing since sliced bread, but what I will say is that if he continues to make the jumps that he's made over the past few years, then I definitely think that this year he can crack 20 points a game. Now, again, that's going to change with some of the signings that we made. So that was before those signings happened. But I do think he's of that caliber of a player to where he could probably make an All-Star game. I could see 3-4 times throughout the duration of his career. And I'm only saying that because he's in the West. If he was in the East, he'd probably be a lot to make it for, he'd probably be a lot to make it for at least double that. But being in the West and it being so competitive is probably not going to happen for him as much as what we wanted to. And then also the addition of Kyle Kuzma as well, who I believe was averaging the second most points for rookies. I saw something that said it was second most all-time for rookies. I don't know about that. I got to go back and double-check that. I was watching the Summer League games. But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure it was just for that season. We built a core group of guys that we can really build upon and build around. And I was excited. Even my roommate, who's a big New York Knicks fan, was asking me, hey, Melvin, how do you feel about all these things that could happen, like if LeBron does come, or if Paul George does come, or if Kawhi Leonard does come? You're probably going to have to ship out some of these young guys. And I'll admit, I was hesitant to do so just because I really like this core group, and I want to see what actually happens with all of them and how they develop together. Because even the chemistry between them, as you can see on social media, it's not like what we had with D'Lo and Nick Young. I mean, minus, a few rap disses here and there. But it still feels genuine. It still feels like they're having a good time and they're having fun and they're building a real rapport with each other. Now, I think that all of that will be accelerated due to the signing of LeBron James coming to the Lakers. Man, you don't know how happy that makes me to be able to say that. But I think that with LeBron coming, it's obvious that we probably won't be competing to win it all this year. We'll definitely be competing, and I think that with the moves that Houston has made, losing Trevor Ariza, also losing Luka Sharma-Mute, and then kind of messing up the whole situation that they got going on with Clint Capella, even though he's probably going to go back because I don't think anybody else is going to sign him to a restricted qualifying offer that's going to be high enough that Houston won't match because I don't think anybody else has that much cap space left anymore. I wish Orlando would have did it because that show would have been beautiful, but they got Mambo number 5, as I like to call him. I think that with Houston taking their step back, it kind of leaves room for the Lakers to really become a strong number 2 seed in the West. And this is off the strength of who we've signed, plus LeBron. Now, I know that that obviously Houston has Chris Paul and James Harden, but Chris Paul with that hamstring injury, we got to see how he ends up coming back. I think he'll come back fully healthy, but it's something that they're going to be monitoring. And then if they do end up signing Melo, I think that's also going to be a stoppage in them, at least as much as they like to shoot the ball and how efficient they shoot the ball, unless he turns into Hoodie Melo, which I just don't see happening at any point in time relatively soon. So I think that causes them to take a step back. I think that Utah will be better, but I don't think that they'll be the second best team in the West. I think OKC will be good, but what worries me is that playoff P, Paul George, even as excited as I was for him to come to the Lakers at that point in time, in who's somebody that said, I don't normally agree with Skip Bayless. Let me put it that way. But in this particular point, I did to say that when the pressure isn't really on Paul like that, he performs very well. Now, being in Indiana, he didn't have to do all that. He had a very good team around him, and he still wasn't. Ooh, that was mad loud, my guy. He still had a great team around him, and he played well. Had that like emerging series against LeBron and D Wade and them. However, we haven't really seen that from him since then on a more consistent basis. And it could have been the leg injury that he had, and that kind of like he's still good, but not as good as what he once was. But so far, he might just be the second best. I don't think he can be the second best player on the championship team. He might end up being your third best player on the championship team. And him being your second best player on a potential championship team, what they have in OKC, I don't think that's going to work out for them that way. Especially if Russell is going to continue to play the way in which Russell has, because it's not beneficial to them winning games come playoff time since they got bounced out by the Jazz. After that, Minnesota's in turmoil. Jimmy Butler don't even want to be there no more with Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns, so that's a wash. The Clippers, yeah, okay. And Portland, I think in order for Portland to be good, they're probably going to have to get rid of CJ and Dame. Well, not both of them. They're going to have to get rid of one of them in order to get a serviceable wing. Now, had they got Melo a couple of years ago when they were really trying to get him, then I think that they would be very good right now, and they could have used him in that New Orleans series. But I don't think they have anybody that's that advanced to be able to take that pressure off of Dame and CJ. Nurkic is very good, and I'm also mad at the Bulls organization for getting rid of him because the Bulls front office is terrible. I'll definitely get into that later too. But I don't think he's good enough to really be able to make that difference like that, especially when we run up against Anthony Davis. And that was the other thing I was going to bring up. New Orleans, while I think they're good, I don't think Elfrid Payton makes as much of a difference as what Rondo did running the point. I don't think that Elfrid is there yet in his development. Unfortunately, I don't know what type of player he's going to end up becoming. I do have high hopes for him, but we'll see what happens. And I love Julius Randle. I wish he would have came back to the Lakers. But I think he will play well next to Anthony. But I don't know if he'll be able to put up the numbers that DeMarcus did. Because I happened to be in the Garden and watched when the Pelicans played the Knicks, and they both put up like 40. And I was like, man, this is something that I've never really seen like that, And I got faith in Julius, but Julius really got to improve that shot to be more consistent for his type of game in order for that to happen. But anyway, that brings me back to the point to why I think the Lakers could be number 2 in the West. Obviously, Golden State is way up out of here, but bringing over LeBron, that automatically gets you in that between like a 3 to 6 category over in the West, in my opinion. Now, with the guys that they did sign and re-sign, bringing back Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, if he continues to be able to shoot from a higher, or if he improves his jump shot over the offseason, and shoots at a higher percentage coming in, takes a bit more smarter shots, I think he could be a reliable 3-point shooter for us at some point in time this season when we really will need it. I think that Brandon Ingram, like I said before, is going to take that next step and really be that solid 3 guy that we need. LeBron's probably going to be the one playing the 4, which I very much love, by the way, because now he's really getting into the small ball in a sense, and they're putting together a team around him that he really didn't have. Last year in Cleveland, he had nothing but shooters around him and nobody that could really create plays. Rondo was the glue that really helped to bring New Orleans together. Jrue Holiday is great. DeMarcus is great. Anthony Davis is great. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that Rondo was able to come in and run that offense so well and be able to create such good looks for them is something that I think really helped them out in the long run. And I think and believe he can transfer some of that over into Lonzo this year to be able to help out with that and also relieve Lonzo when it comes to takes a break. And then we have JaVale McGee at center. I honestly wanted Brook Lopez to come back. And even the list, how it went for me was, okay, we signed JaVale, but I really want DeMarcus. Okay, they didn't sign DeMarcus. I kind of want Dwight. Okay, Dwight's going to Washington. At least bring back Brook just because Brook, while he may not have been the toughest player and the fiercest rebounder last year, if he can commit to doing that a bit more this year, combined with his shot, and because he's such a threat from the perimeter area, I think that can really help to open up the offense. That didn't happen either, so I'm assuming, all right, JaVale and Zubac, Big Z, are going to be the guys that we're going to have in the middle. And they're just going to be rebounders, come in and set some hard screens, let's get this going type of thing. And that brings me to the gelling that I think is going to have to happen this year with this team. I think that they're really going to have to get everything together in a sense to say, all right, Rondo, Lance, specifically, those 2 guys, I know a lot of people are saying the chemistry in terms of who they can be and what they do and the type of guys that they are. It's very difficult, and it could be a very tumultuous season if things don't go well or if they start getting too hot-headed because they've been known to have some issues in the locker room or with coaches. But I think that Magic brought them in. And what I love about this is that Magic has such a handle and has such a position with these players that he can really talk to them in a way that other GMs and other front office members around the league haven't been able to do so. He can talk to them in a way to say, I really want you to bring the dog out of these younger guys that we got. Rondo, I really want you to bring the dog out of Lonzo. We need to push Lonzo so that he can be the best that he can be. That's why I love Rondo being there. Same thing with Lance. I really need you to push Brandon Ingram. I need you to get in Brandon Ingram's face, and I need you to be on him like white on rice and annoy the hell out of him so that you can bring the best out of him so that way come game time, he like, oh, Lance ain't guard me. Okay, cool, I can do this type of thing. And with JaVale down in the middle, I think that JaVale bringing now, it's funny as hell to say JaVale now bringing that championship experience. Cause I remember when JaVale used to be on the Warriors, and I was like, bro, if he ever get it together, way back in the day. And I was like, he ain't gonna get it together like that. Then he got that big extension in Denver, and I was like, okay, he getting it together. He had that good stretch under George Karl, even though I don't really like bringing up George Karl's name, but they didn't get it together. But over in Golden State, I think that some of those principles and some of the tendencies that he got over there will be able to follow him over here. And being alongside a player like LeBron will really be able to bring that consistency out of him to kind of give what we need really to move forward. So all in all, man, just bringing LeBron over and having these young guys and having this group that we now have that's very different from any roster that LeBron has played with before. That's very defensive minded, and just having to start off with having LeBron and Rondo on the same squad with how high their IQs are is something to me, and Lonzo, with how high their IQs are is something to me that I think can really be helpful to make in-game adjustments, something that didn't necessarily happen a lot in Cleveland on the floor. Now, it happened when Tyronn Lue would call a timeout, but it didn't happen on the floor for players to say, okay, this is going on, that's going on, and I think that can be really helpful this year as well, man. I know I'm kind of rambling. I got to get me like a deck so that way I can talk more so about everything, but I'm just hella excited, man. I'm hella excited for this year. I think that they're going to do very well. I think that their ceiling is number 2 in the West, and I think that their bottom is number 6, at absolute worst, number 7 in the West, just because chemistry issues and whatnot. Also, I like the additions of Mo Wagner. I was kind of hesitant at first because I was like, who is this dude? I'm a big Ohio State fan. He's a Michigan guy. And I was like, who in the hell is this guy? But I really like the toughness that he's been able to show so far in Summer League. And he reminds me, in a sense, I'm not saying he's going to be this type of player, but he reminds me of a Bill Laimbeer, Charles Oakley, Dennis Rodman type of guy to say, I ain't taking no bull. Like, I'm going to be here. You're going to feel me here. And I'm going to hype up the crowd. And we're going to have fun while all this is going on. And I really like that out of him, what he's been showing so far. Hoping he can still take that in the season, because we know Summer League and the association, 2 completely different things. But we'll see if he's able to bring that along with him. I like Zvi. I'm not going to pronounce his name, my homie from Kansas. Shout out to Zvi, because I didn't even know he was as tall as he is. When we first drafted him, I was kind of hesitant as well. I was like, why are we drafting this 6'4" kid that can, okay, he can shoot well, but he Josh Hart size, bro. We already got that. Yo, when I watched Summer League game, they was like, yeah, 6'8". I was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't know he was 6'8". And then he got some sneaky athleticism, and he's very quick about a lot of things that he does. And I'm glad they signed him to that 3-year deal to say, okay, we're serious about developing you and seeing the type of player that you can become. I think he can become a very, very good shooter. You know, LeBron need him a Kyle Korver around. Zvi, he get it together, bro. You got Kyle Korver, you got Josh Hart over here, and if Lonzo can get this whole thing going, we can figure that out. And Josh Hart as well. Josh Hart has really made some improvements throughout the Summer League. I like the aggressiveness that he's definitely shown, just even from him going to the basket strong, dunking left hand, making smart decisions with the basketball, being confident in the shots that he's taking and making those shots. It showed me that he took to heart what Magic told him and said, we need you to become more assertive, more aggressive on the defensive end, and be more determined to find your own shot. He's really done those things this offseason, and I'm very, very proud of that. And shout out to Alex Caruso, just because he losing the hair right here and I was losing mine, and that's why I'm bald at this point. I just cut it off, but he make it look good, man. Yo, that's all I got to say right now. I know I've been rambling for a lot. I'm going to try and make sure to get this together in a more concise format so that way I can talk it out to you guys, because I'm just happy. And that's why I was like, I just want to do this now, get it out. And once I get it out, we can start formatting it and really build this into something exciting, man. I'm so happy, so thankful to be here with y'all. And I'm so glad that you guys all subscribe to this channel and tune in with me. Y'all mean the world to me. I really appreciate and love each and every last one of y'all that's my subscribers, because I'm building something that's going to be meaningful and worthwhile here, guys. And I'm really just on the cusp, I believe, of really being able to unlock YouTube and really figure it out. So please make sure to continue this journey with me. Share these videos with your family, with your friends, or anybody that you talk to, your coworkers, and even people that you don't talk to, just so that way you can spread the word. Last thing I do want to say before I do sign out, is the Kawhi Leonard situation. Now, I would love to have Kawhi on the Lakers right now, because obviously that would put us up there with Golden State as like super dangerous, you know. But the thing about the Kawhi situation is I don't want to mortgage everything that we have to be able to get it. Now, here's one point that I do. Here's one thing that I do like about all these signings the Lakers did. All of them are one-year deals, so that way we can have room for next year, because even if we don't get Kawhi, we can coax another player to come over. But some of these guys and the money that they're making could be enough to put together a package come trade deadline to get Kawhi if things aren't working out in San Antonio. Now, I don't necessarily want to mortgage my future, just because every team that LeBron is going to, that's been the case. And yes, in the short term, it's worked out. They've been able to compete for championships. However, once Bron leaves, it's kind of over. Now, I know that Kawhi, if he were to come with the Lakers, he'll probably be playing a lot longer than what LeBron will, but I really like this young core that we got. I'm loving Lonzo. I'm loving Brandon. I'm loving Kuz. I'm loving Josh, and even these new younger guys that they got right now. I really think that something good is going on here. I'd rather Kawhi just come over in free agency and we just add him into the younger pieces that we got, and we figure out how to keep everything together rather than sending out a package and losing some of these younger guys that I think have a lot of promise. Because the one thing I don't want to do is what happened with the whole Kobe era, and how this all ties into me is the years when Kobe and Powell were together and we were competing for championships, and we had Shannon Brown, Sasha Vujacic, Jordan Farmar, Trevor Ariza, Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom. I love those guys. And one of the primary reasons that I love those guys is because they all knew their roles, played well with each other, and grew outside of that. Because they were so comfortable with each other, they could play their game to the fullest of extents, right? And they knew what they could and could not do and how that fit around these different guys who came into the game, around a Powell, around a Kobe, so that they could play and be themselves. Now, this core group of young guys that we have right now, I want them to stick together so that way they can do the same thing. So even if we don't have a LeBron playing this game, or even if we don't have a Kawhi playing this game, these young guys are going to be able to do enough and know enough about the personnel that they have around them and have that chemistry to be able to play well. Because I thought that at that point, even if Kobe went down, I'm not going to say we would have still been competing, but I will say while it would hurt, it wouldn't hurt as much because these players played well enough and had that chemistry with each other to really step up and go to bat with what it is they had. I want these young guys to do the same thing, and I don't want to just necessarily blow the whole thing up to win right away right now when we're really making the steps to solidify everything we've been working towards. You know, San Antonio had a good run. They competed for a long time, was always the Patriots of the NBA, doing their thing, developing players. I want the Lakers to be able to do that too. I want to have the South Bay Lakers be a developmental situation for us so that way they can really grow and groom players so that they can come over, add that experience, and keep the run alive. I want to do the same thing with the bench guys that we have. You know, come here and grow. And if you happen to go on and get that contract elsewhere, cool. We have a nice young stable of guys that we can bring, plug in place, and keep it moving. So that's why I'm like, let's wait on Kawhi. If it comes to the trade deadline and we can give up something that's not going to be too detrimental to the young core that we have and make it happen, cool. But if not, I'm completely comfortable with waiting to the off season and then just seeing what happens in 2019. You know. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this first episode of the Hoop Group Chat. Kind of losing my voice just for talking so much because I'm so excited about this, man. I'm so excited for this year, and I really need some water. That's what I need right now. So please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Don't worry, everybody. I got some more reactions. They will be coming soon. They're coming. I just got a lot going on. All my bosses at work, I was going to say both. I got more than 2 bosses at work, have all been out, and everything has been on me. So I've just been in like, oh, I got to do this work mode all the time, aside from doing my radio show and still doing improv around the city, man. So again, thank y'all so much for y'all support. Really appreciate you guys. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media, Melvin Taylor II on Twitter, IG, Facebook. I was going to say YouTube, but we on YouTube. And also go to my website, melvintaylorii.com, and let me know what you think. All right? Remember, stay blessed, stay blessed, stay favored. Always stay Taylor. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace and love.